Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 3 video. Over the last few weeks I've done various videos talking about characters I want to see in the game and what their abilities could be, along with how I think the progression system should work if we ever get the game. Today though I want to talk about a game mode that I really think deserves more attention in this next title. Once again, Battlefront 3 has not yet been confirmed, so this is all just speculation and my hopes should the game ever release. For more speculation videos, news and discussions, then be sure to subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any future content. So the game mode that I think deserves more attention is Hunt. In classic Battlefront 2, the Hunt mode had a variety of different playable options. You had Ewoks versus Scout Troopers on Endor, Wampus versus Rebels on Hoth, and much more. The way this worked would be a simple team deathmatch style. The team to reach 50 kills first won the match. In Star Wars Battlefront 2 from EA we got Ewok Hunt, an experience that took me back to the old days yet gave me something new, exciting and scary to play. In this mode you have 16 players, 2 of them are Ewoks whilst the remaining 14 are Stormtroopers. The Stormtroopers must survive the night on Endor whilst they wait for the extraction shuttle. The 2 Ewoks must hunt down the Stormtroopers and kill them before the shuttle arrives. Any Stormtrooper that dies then becomes an Ewok and must hunt down the remaining Stormtroopers. It was a really fun and unique take on the Hunt mode that we all know and love from the original game, but with that in mind, it was a shame that it never got expanded beyond Ewoks. If DICE is making Battlefront 3, as those previous leaks have suggested, then I really think it would be the perfect opportunity to reintroduce Hunt mode into the Battlefront franchise. Ideally, I'd like them to keep the same premise of Ewok Hunt, however I think they should expand it to more creatures and beasts, and I also think that depending on the type of hunt that it actually is, perhaps they could also reintroduce the classic deathmatch setting as well from the original Battlefront 2. I would absolutely love it if they brought back Ewok Hunt, as I spent many hours on that mode laughing, having fun, and sometimes screaming as I saw those glowing yellow eyes lurk in the shadows. This time, as I said, I would love it if we got to play as more creatures and beasts, and I'll go over a few examples now. Firstly, I think it's worth noting that all these different types of hunt modes would just be in one mode called Hunt, but they'd be in a rotation. So the first type of new hunt mode that I'd like to see is Geonosian Hunt. In the classic Battlefront 2, this was a simple team deathmatch that consisted of Geonosians and Clone Troopers. Now there are 3 ways I think this mode could be done now. The first of which is that they go back to that team deathmatch style of the original Battlefront where Clone Troopers face off against Geonosians. The second would be similar to Ewok Hunt, where you'd start with 2 Geonosians and for every clone that dies they then turn to a Geonosian themselves, and considering Geonosians could use that sonic green blaster, I think it would put them at an unfair advantage, so for the sake of this style of mode they should use a spear instead, and this would be above ground during the night. The third way they could do this is very similar to that previous way that I just spoke about. However, instead of playing as living Geonosians, you play as Geonosian zombies, and instead of having a map above ground, you play in the Geonosian catacombs. And if you do it this way, similar to Ewok Hunt, perhaps you could have both one map above ground with the living Geonosians and one map in a catacomb with the undead. Another example is Wampa Hunt. This one can go either way really, be it team deathmatch style or Ewok Hunt style. To be fair, it's probably best if they just try to really focus on one type of hunt mode, as otherwise it's extra work where it may not necessarily be needed, but it is always nice to have a variety in the way we play. For Wampa Hunt, this would simply be Wampas versus Rebel Troopers. The map could very much be like Twilight on Hoth, whereby it has a mixture of ice caves and the classic snow environment that we're so used to with Hoth. My final example for this is Gungan Hunt. This would be Gungans versus B1 battle droids, and again either style could work for this one. Gungans would likely be using their spears, and they could even throw a mini boomer at the droids as an ability, which I think would be really cool. The map for this could easily be on the plains of Naboo, or perhaps that sacred Gungan place that we see in The Phantom Menace. The beauty of having these hunt modes in Battlefront 3 is that it would provide 2 big things for the game. Firstly, a fun mode that many will enjoy and experience, and secondly, it provides the potential for these creatures and other species to be playable as reinforcements. We saw it in Battlefront 2 from DICE, where eventually the Ewok became a reinforcement for the Rebellion, in which its abilities are exactly the same, but instead of using a spear as its primary weapon, it uses a bow. The same could easily be done for Geonosians, Gungans, and whatever else you can think of in that hunt mode. The Gungans could run around with their spear and shield with an ability to throw boomers and more, whilst the Geonosians could fly around using their green sonic blasters. The potential for not just the game mode itself, but for the rest of the game via reinforcements is huge. It would be new content for everyone to play, and even if you don't like Hunt but you wanted a Geonosian as a reinforcement, then this one update or having it in place at launch would do that perfectly. I will eventually make reinforcement concepts for the Geonosians and Gungans, so if you have any other ideas for reinforcement concepts, then be sure to let me know in the comments below. That is it from me today though guys, thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.